Alright, good morning everyone. Looks like this is the first time I missed a session on Tuesday, but have a lot of things going on. That's alright though. So we're back to, what are we looking at right now? What am I looking at? There we go. Let's get into 3D mode. It's time to work on my little pirate game. And uncomfortably eat oatmeal online for a few minutes. So let's see what we have going on here. We have a new island, new set of islands. We also have some construction on in the background, so apologies for that. They just occasionally rattle the building. But this is, I think probably what today is going to be a little bit of, it might be a little bit of a strategic session, figuring out what we actually want to do during our days. You know, I feel like we've gotten a bunch of things in place, but now there's a lot more things we could be doing. You know, those things could include, I believe when we last left, we were doing expansion of the ports, meaning these very simple cylinders. I really like not worrying about the art. There will become a point when I start to, but for now, you know, I'm streaming this, but I'm streaming programming, and I don't actually care how this game looks. I don't care how a game looks, because if everything else is working, then you'll get into it. You know, the aesthetics end up becoming a tool to sell it in a lot of ways, and to, you know, sell the theme, and they are very important, but they're not the essential thing right now. So alright, so let's take a look and see kind of what we've got going, and then let's maybe like target some bigger specific tasks that we want to do. Peaches and cream oatmeal. It is my favorite. Okay. So I think if we have our little list, very simple text list of activities, we have a bunch of things under the port economy. We actually do have goods depleting. We do have harvesting from the island. Different island elements. So, if we go to any one of these islands, we should be able to select the port itself. That's the port. And already kind of regret this thing that I thought would be great. Turned out maybe not to be useful, because it's just kind of this overwhelming, like, array of items. Wealth, 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 especially because all the wealth is the same. So, maybe not good. And right now, we're not going to change the different costs of wealth, or the weight of the wealth, or the size of the wealth. All wealth elements are this big. So, I'm going to write out what today once again. Actually, is that what I want to do? We have other things we could do. This is still working. It's just a little hard to parse. Yeah, let's see how. So, I'm going to change storage once again. Counts of items. Or maybe show item counts. What if we just did that? Show item counts. So we still have individual objects. Yeah, okay. Actually, this was something that, Unity editor show variable. Okay. So inside of ship hold. Now where do we have our storage? Classes, basic classes, resources. These things are all public. I'm gonna have serialized field. What was this other one? No. Actually, sure. Wealth. Supply construction wealth weapon. Supply construction wealth and weapon. So anytime we add or remove an item, set storage weight, set storage space, set counts. Do we ever use this one? We do. Right, but that is not removing it. So we only have remove and add. So we're also gonna set counts here. Where's a void set counts? And then we're gonna set construction 0. Wealth equal 0, supply equal 0, weapons equal, nope, weapon equal 0. Go through the whole length. If items is not equal to null, switch items I dot type case item type dot construction construction plus break supply wealth and weapon. Supply wealth weapon. There might even be easy. This is the kind of thing that probably has easier code, but we'll just go ahead and do that. Let's find out if this works. Alright, let's find a port. Select it, and here we go. Nope, I do not see it. So, serialize field. Put these on the same line. I do not know what the spacing system is for these things. Okay, there we go. Supply, construction, wealth, weapons, and these all have a bunch. They all have the same amount. Which is maybe inaccurate. Okay. Let's check our ship hold, ship supply, construction, wealth, weapon. So we can do one quick test of this idea, which is I'm gonna say weapon, ship weapons. Right now, I have this idea of the ball count, and every time you fire, so this is the reload. So we need to reset this. So reload is loaded equal to false. Do that stuff and reload. This should actually be its own function. Reload. Reload. And when we're reloading, we're going to count minus if ball count less than or equal to 0, we can't reload, so I'm gonna return. Otherwise, lower the ball count. Oh, actually. Void load weapons. Actually, bool. If not load weapons, then return. So what we're going to do right now is basically we are going to get weapons from our ship's hold. We're going to say ship.hold.storage.get. Type. No. That returns a type. Get item type dot weapon. There's not one that takes just that. So, comma, -1. So right now we are not actually using different quality types for these supplies, as we have not determined that quality type is going to improve this game at all. It feels kind of secondary to maybe what we're working on. So. Okay. So, bool load weapons. If we can get that, actually, just remove. So remove a bool, remove is a bool. Good. Actually, let's just remove. No, we need an item to remove. Although this is the idea of using items. Okay, that actually should do exactly what we need. If ship.hold.storage use item type of weapon, count of 1, return true, else return false. So we already wrote that. We are using up one of our items. And if we load weapons, we do, if turn false, otherwise I'm going to say, so we're going to still return true at the bottom. I'm going to flip it around. I kind of like that, but if we load weapons, then we are going to reset our ball count to plus equals 10. That's right now all we're doing is just literally resetting that. The only thing that we're gonna, so, okay. First, this is first step. If we say ball count and our setup, pool balls, ball count, fire, loaded return. If we're not loaded, return. Where do we set our first thing? Could just let our so we're setting, so the thing that's going on right now is I have to figure out the very initial point of when we load weapons. Because right now we're only loading weapons after we fire. So when do we first load a weapon? Because right now, in the setup, we might not actually have anything in our hold at this point. This is like very functional, and we really want to think about like the starting out of our ship. So if I think about something like the ship control AI, but then the player is also going to be using those resources in the same way. So I think we're just going to have, when our ship hold is created, this is crazy. I'm gonna load it from here. This seems bad. Ship loading weapons from when loading hold ship dot weapons dot reload. Nope. this idea is actually, I'm going to rename this load hold. I'm going to move this up. One thing this is going to do. If is loaded, we also don't need to be here. Okay, that's good. So if we're already loaded, nope. Otherwise, if ball count is less than 0, load. Otherwise, now we do that. So pull this whole thing down here. Now the one other thing we have to make sure of is that that wherever we're calling this from, yep, we've actually have not set up our weapons yet, so this would freak out. So actually reset all values is where we want to do this. Separate this out. I'm gonna have a story. We're gonna have, we reset all values. We're gonna have a hold dot storage dot clear dot storage dot load. No, hold dot load. Load all, or load defaults. Clear public. And we're going to move that down. And now we can say public clear and load default and weapons.reload. All right, next up, I'm going to, what is up next? Let's see how this works. First element. Does this work right now? Okay. Oh, actually, we can test it with ourselves. We should see our weapons eventually drop. There we go. Cool. Okay. We have this one. They also have 4 weapons. They have 4. They still have 5. They have 3. And if we select their weapons, we should see that ball count dropping. Cool. That's good. Yep. That's cool. All right. What do we have next? So, the reason I wanted to do that was, say we have this ship that is about to, well, that actually has full weapons right now. How does that have full weapons? Something happened. What about this one? Okay. Five. All right. Not sure what I missed here. That is working correctly. All right. So then, what is the natural extension of this idea? It is that we can actually that we are going to load or purchase weapons when we get to a port if we don't have any. And maybe we want to keep our ship loaded with 5 of them. Or like a minimum of 3. So when our ship gets into a port, then we're going to have it checkpoint entry, blah, 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 control. If is player, else control checkport. Go to definition, checkport, and we do nothing. So, okay. Next up is the idea of control checking port, trigger enter if it's check port entry. Where's our ship control? Oh, right. We actually need to check ship control AI check port. If ship.current area, and that is a port, and it is where we want to go, then we set our goal area to null, and our captain, if our goal area is set to null, sets a new one. So, now we can add a little bit of check ship state. Okay. So then the next thing that we have going on here is we need to check area. Or check area. If current area equals, no, we're in our area, so we've made it there. We set this to null. We found our port. Actually don't need that. I don't feel like we need that anymore. If we're in the goal area, then let's check port. No, we're literally checking the port right now. Check storage. So do we have yet another person here? Maybe. Captain Gunner. those should be one thing. Okay, and now we are checking our storage, and we want to see, actually, our gunner is the one who's going to keep track of those things, but check weapons counts. If ship dot storage ship dot hold dot storage dot get get count of item type dot weapon is less than 3. Let us, so check weapons, check storage weapon, check weapon count. Void check weapon count. Int count equals ship.hold.storage.get count. Alright. What do we have next? Okay. So, checking if count is less than 3. Get the difference. Count is count equals 3. How many do we need? 3 minus count. Right. Well, let's go 5 actually. Let's just say our ships want to keep well stocked. Actually, I'm gonna keep it to 3. That's 30 cannons. And I'm actually gonna go back to our weapons and say every time we fire a ball, we subtract 1 from here. So this is going to deplete even more quickly. Alright, let us see what we're we're gonna need to figure this out. So we are gonna need to load each cannon. You know what, I'm just gonna keep it like this. And then, we are firing, actually, we're saying 1-to-1, just because we're firing 2 of these, and eventually we're gonna start to need to load each of those individually. Okay. Let's... So I'm gonna say 4. If our count is 0. So, alright. Yes, so I'm going to... Let's see. Check our weapon count, get our count, and then ship dot hold dot purchase. For int I equals 0, I is less than count I plus plus. Dot hold dot purchase dot item type dot weapon. Okay. And we're going to go back into our ship hold and say we are loading up 4 weapons at the start of each round, which means that our ships can fire 20 shots, essentially, before they run out. Yep, cool. Alright, I'm going to take a quick couple-minute break. Just a moment, so I will be back. Let's actually see, well, let's set this up. Or, first thing we can do to kind of test this is instead if we only start with 1. Okay. Well, that shouldn't be happening. Okay, let's actually do this really quick. If it's not loaded, return. If is loaded, return. If ball count. And if ball count is if ball count is less than 0, then we need to load weapons. float weapons. Weapons. Okay. Okay. You're out of weapons. Oh, crap. Hit the wrong button. I want to pause, not that. Okay. Like I said, need to take a couple minutes. Actually, yep. I'm gonna leave this here for a minute. Silence it, and then I will be back. Alright, sorry about that, everyone. Work and other things, all that. Things are still alive. With me gone for 10 minutes, things are still operating. Let's see. Let's confirm. Oh no, these are out too. So this thing is out of weapons. And will it fire on things? No, it is. Yep, it just did. Okay. So, that is definitely a thing we have in front of us. Is why, what exactly am I doing wrong here? Although it looked like it did actually purchase weapons. That's awesome. Okay. Weapon 1. Ball count. Drop to 0. Ball count. So, something is happening, which is... Is it just because when we're trying to fire, we don't have enough balls? I wonder if we are resetting this timer, or only resetting it here. And run timer. Run timer, run timer, run timer. Timer is running out. So I think what's probably happening is our run timer is continuing to get called, and it is being loaded. So run timer should only go if time is less than 0, less than or equal to 0f. I want to return false. I think that could be what's going on here. Is that we might be we're running it, even though if the timer runs out, it's only when it crosses the threshold that we care about it. Once it has crossed the threshold, it shouldn't do anything. Thus, this is why looping is valuable, and this is why. Yeah. Okay. Let's try this version now. I'm gonna have to reset. Oop. So something stopped working. What if we save time? Is less than 0 rather than equal to. So a bunch of other things fell apart when I did that. So clearly that is gonna need some work. For now, I could just say if reload timer dot time okay. Reload. Bool can reload. Yawn equals false. Yawn equals true. Yawn equals false. Yawn equals false. If yawn then do that. Is reloading equal to true. See, like I don't like this. I feel like this is a flaw in my timer right now. Well, first let's see if we select our ship, select our weapons. This is not a looping timer. When it runs out, just stay below 0. What are all the places that we use this? So we have this inside of our life run timer. We have it inside of our weapons, the reload timer. And we have it inside of this clock, the world clock. This should work. If time is less than blah 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 blah. If it loops we're resetting our time. This should be correct. If time is less than 0, F. Return false. Cannot run the timer. Because our timer's run out. It's already before the time is set to 0. Alright. I don't like that either, so let's fix this again. False, else do this. If is loaded, return. All right, let's look at this. Think captain. Think helmsman, think gunner. These should all if we select our ship control AI, these should all loop. And just so I can see this, serialize field. Those are resetting, those are resetting, those are resetting. Alright, so probably the first thing then that's happening is this might not actually be loaded. Right, okay, it is loaded. What about this one? Okay. Alright. You loaded up on objects. What about this one? Okay, you still have weapons, ball counts. Good. Ball count is 0, 0. Cool. That's awesome. All right. So it should now try to get to this port. Or where is it trying to go? Oh, come on, you can make it. There it goes. Nice. Now it has weapons again. Ooh. But it didn't reload. So let's try and get that going. Let's see. Okay. Ship weapons, fireball, reload. So if we go to our AI, purchase, and ship dot weapons dot reload. Cool. That's actually really cool. I think this is just doing a little bit of kind of sequencing, right? Like, you can start to think about these elements overlapping each other. And you could start to imagine some fun things too, where maybe maybe foreign ports won't sell us weapons or something. Okay. Weapons are 0, ball count's still good. And we should also see our port lose its weapons. Yep. So now that is getting more complicated. And of course, a huge part of this, right, is how much we decide or decide not to surface this to the player. I mean, ideally, the things that gets the most interesting is when you do, in fact, surface these things, you know. So if we can imagine that, you know, the different ways we show these things. Like right now, this ship just embedded in that wall. Now this one's probably gonna start taking shots. Wait, no, it's out of weapons. Alright, let's see if we can see this one. Well, it's gonna hit that. Oh, nice. Oh, and that turning radius. Oh no. Oh. Come on, come on. Come on, you can do it. Oh. This is the painful fault of my AI programming. Alright. There we go. Now it's reloaded with weapons. Ooh, is this port out of weapons? No, plenty. 42 still. Which is equivalent to 420 cannonballs. Okay. So that's good. Look at all these yellow ships that we have going on right here. The yellow ports are just totally dominating this map. There's a little green port over there, green port over there. Do we have any other green ports? Nope, just a couple of those. A couple purple and an orange. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yellow ports. Okay. All right. So that's one thing. I think we can already imagine. Why don't we go ahead and have a food timer? So we have our ship health. We have our, do we call it crew? Or do we just deplete from the hold automatically? Right now we don't actually have a ton of so we have purchasing power from the hold. I feel like the ship health might actually be, might also include public. Int crew health. I don't think I really want to go down this rabbit hole though. This I do want to have supplies. But I don't know that I want to have, like... I think it should just... You need to get to a port, or you don't. Something like if you don't have any health, if you've used up all your supplies, then, you know, then you move at like half speed or something like that. And you prioritize like just getting to the nearest port. Or maybe you go to any island that doesn't even have a port. Or maybe you fish yourself. I don't know, these are bigger ships, so... Alright, but for now we can add a little bit here. Public, it's not public. I think we're gonna have a void. Eat. And in our ship control AI. Check food count. Okay, actually, if we're gonna do this, this is gonna be the same basic idea here. So check count item type dot supply, comma, and what is the amount we're looking for? Minimum. Get ship size. Let's just say we want 10 of these. Check item count. Purchase. Purchase items, item type supply, 10. Purchase items, weapon is 4. So purchase items, the item type, IT, item, comma, int, desired value, desired count, desired count wanted. Let's go with that. And get count of the item. Purchase the item. And then ship.weapons.reload. Yeah, that looks good. So now we can purchase different types of items. We just tell it what we wanted, how much we want. If our count is less than the count we want, subtract, figure that out, and purchase until we can. And in this case, we're going to say ship.storage. Do you not have a reference? Ship dot hold dot storage dot use item type dot food supply. Should probably just rename it food. And we're just going to use one of them. And also, we haven't gotten even into the fact that we're actually spending. We need to like pay something to get this stuff. Right now, we're actually. Oh wait, no, the purchase thing is totally doing that already. Let's confirm. Purchase. Yep. Purchase an item. Yeah. Actually, we're doing all of that already, so that is good. Excellent. Cool. So, then, with that, purchasing, we are reloading our items every time we eat. If this is a boolean, if we're able to use this, then else, and this is gonna have what is the temp? Why are we doing this? Oh. Okay, yeah. We're looking for randomly getting hit by other things and just creating a little temp there. So, okay. Crew starving. That's gonna be a bool. Is crew starving? Public timer eat timer eat timer dot eat timer equals new. No, actually, that's gonna be public. We're gonna edit those variables in our script. So, public void update if eat timer dot run timer eat. I also want to rename this just run. Yeah. Run timer is kind of redundant. We need to make sure our clock is also a loop. And let's get that. And Okay. So this is getting good. So now let's go into our world. Check our clock. It does loop. Check our ship health, eat timer, loops, and the timer length is maybe every, I don't know, 30 seconds? I know we set this somewhere. Where did we write these things down? Class is basic. World. I know I started to write this down somewhere. Did I write it in here? No. Okay. Island. World. World objects. Did I write it here? Well, this is poor management. I should be fired. Alright. Ship health, ship hold. Where did I write? I wrote somewhere the idea of a length of a day. And it's not going to be in these things. No, it's not going to be in here. It's not going to be in the UI stuff at all. I could have sworn I wrote it. In one of these objects. Oh, God. Right, there it is. Okay, 30 seconds of one day in game. So we're gonna say, I think that's good. So we are saying that our ship health, I'm gonna close a bunch of this stuff. Our ship health is going to eat every 30 seconds. And then if we eat successfully, and I think if we don't have any food, we'd probably give up as well or something. There's a real element here. We can start to think about the grim natures of this world. You know, this world was not friendly. So how much do we make that, or how much do we go kind of Sea of Thieves, Pirates of the Caribbean? But I think I'm going to say, if we are able to succeed on this, we're gonna go movement. Do we want to just track it here? Speed increase. Clamp speed from negative speed max 0.5, so you can only go half speed backwards, or speed max. check velocity. Update, check velocity. Update the speed that we want you to move. Times starving multiplier. Public float starving multiplier equals 1F. Otherwise, ship dot movement dot starving multiplier equals 1F, else this equals 0.5F. That is all it's going to be right now. Okay. And with that, it is 11 o'clock. But I didn't start till late, and I took a little bit of a break, so we're just going to look and see what this looks like. So let's go ahead and watch one of our ships and their hold. Supply is 4. Let's check our health. Yeah, there's supply 3. Okay. This port should be down supplies a little bit. Yep. It's down supplies. Our supply is still 10, which gives them a solid 5 minutes, which, the way our world is laid out right now, they're rarely going to hit that amount. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and right off the bat drop the ship hold, their supply basic. I'm going to say 3 minutes. So item supplies. That is what they want. Their AI. Is 6. So gives us 3 minutes of them not starving. And this is, you know, maybe the next layer here is check remaining if less than 2 and wants to get to and to a port. Then that starts to give us some interesting AI things as well, where we can kind of let it know. Maybe like update the AI. Update AI priority. And then even we can, oh boy, it gets more and more complicated. Like switch the people from the weapons to the sails. They just want to flee. They don't care about fighting. You know, things like that. That starts to become some really interesting design decisions. What we want to happen there. So, anyway, thanks for watching. I actually like a lot of the stuff we got in today. Very simple but functional, kind of important elements of depletion of resources, and then, you know, that's going to start to create a more dynamic space over time. So Yeah, pretty cool. Let's see what our island looks like. This chain. Yellow, not nearly as successful here. Look at that green chunk of island. That 1, 2, 3 green, 4 green. Ooh, green actually has a nice little kind of chain over there. Orange has this purple once again, kind of stuck out on the edge. Alright. Well, with that, have a good weekend, everyone, and I should hopefully be back on Tuesday.